All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back with another episode of This Freakin' Show, the weekly podcast with a little bit of something and a whole lot of nothing. I'm your host, Travesty, and alongside me this evening,
Awkward Colin!
And Geek Cast Joe.
and this episode of This Freakin' Show is brought to you by the Firepit Bar and Grill of Peotone, Illinois. If you're looking for a down-home country restaurant that offers barbecue that's so delicious, I don't even fucking know. I have no words to even fucking describe it because it is that delicious. You'll be all like, oh my god, this is just as delicious as, and you won't even know because you've never tasted anything so delicious at the barbecue they have there at Firepit Bar and Grill.
That sounds amazing.
True story. It is so amazing. I had ribs there a couple weeks ago. No, was it ribs? Yeah, I had ribs there a couple weeks ago, and it was really, really good. I actually had jambalaya there the day I got drunk a couple weeks ago, too. So maybe I had ribs about 3 weeks ago. And they were absolutely amazing. Dry rub, perfect. And they have their own homemade barbecue sauce there. Secret recipe. Won't tell you what it is, but I don't care because it's so good.
That's awesome.
So fucking good. I'm so happy that if I want good barbecue, all I gotta do is go to my local restaurant, Firepit Bar and Grill, Peotone.
Don't have to go to Memphis.
Mm-mm.
Don't have to
None
go to
whatsoever.
Nashville.
No, not at all. None. They smoke. I mean, they do like smoked pork chops, smoked ribs. I mean, they got briskets. Oh my god, it's everything.
Brisket.
Everything is delicious. They're so
Oh.
fucking good. So fucking good. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are back this week. We did take a quick break last week for everyone to do what they need to do to move on with their lives. You know, obviously, as much as we would love to stop our personal lives and do this consistently, sometimes, you know, life gets in the way. We got to make alternate. Joey, what's the word?
I had a big research project due last week.
Joey had a big research project to do last week.
So, and by big research project, I mean I didn't do my homework the rest of the semester and had to do it all the day it was due. So, sorry about that, listeners.
Yeah. So unfortunately, we did push off having Super Casey on, which is totally fine because last week would have been her only week off, like the next, I think, like 6 or 8 weeks or some shit like that. And, you know, everyone needs some downtime. So we're going to plan that in the future. She's really excited to come back on. We're really excited to have her on. I'm really excited for the people that we're going to have coming up because it seems like we have a guest almost every week now up until mid-April, which is awesome for us. So I'm really excited about that. We do have a guest. We actually have 2 guests coming on today. We can introduce them when we bring them on in a little bit. There was something I wanted to mention, and I can't remember what the hell it is now.
Does it have to do with Kickstarter?
Yes. Why don't you tell us about that, Joe?
I would be happy to. So, a couple of weeks ago, we had a fellow on named Brian Lau who does a comic book called Staunch Ambition, and they are currently on Kickstarter producing their 2nd issue of the comic, and there are all sorts of things available. They're only about 30% funded as it currently stands. But you better get on it quickly because some of the early bird pricing is beginning to get filled up. So, Staunch Ambition, Kickstarter, check it out. Make it so.
Yeah, and then we'll put the link. We'll put the link in our show notes to that, and we'll also put something up on our Facebook and Twitter so you guys can find it that way too. Also, if anyone who's listening to this by next Saturday, if you guys haven't heard, haven't seen yet, something really exciting is coming up. I think I mentioned it about 6 months ago. The creation of a second podcast, which is all about pro wrestling. That's actually finally happening. Everything's coming together. So in April of this year, we're gonna launch the second podcast of the Freakin' Show family. I think I put on Facebook. I think I put like the sister podcast to this show.
I don't know. Maybe.
I think I put that.
Yes.
I can't remember.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's like that. I mean, like, you know, I mean, it's not. I mean, obviously they're not equals. You know, this show has been around a lot longer. So it's like a little sister, maybe a daughter. Who knows? Something that's pure as of now. So that's coming up. I'm really excited about that. Um, but what I'm really excited about as of right now is getting our guests on because uh they well, they're kind of spooky and I'm kind of intrigued by this stuff now. So so
Fantastic.
let's
You ready?
well, we're gonna find out. Let's do a quick promo of History of Bad Ideas podcast, and then when we come back, hopefully they're on and ready to go. So listen to this promo. There we go.
Hello, everybody. I'm Jason.
And I'm Jeff. We're from the History of Bad Ideas podcast.
You know what you're listening to right now, Jeff?
What are we listening to right now?
This freaking show.
This freaking show?
This freaking show. And when you're not listening to this freaking show, take a listen to the History of Bad Ideas.
Where we talk about sports,
Movies,
and other pop culture events happening
in the world. So take a listen. We're on iTunes, Stitcher, and any other place that you find great podcasts like This Freaking Show.
This freaking show.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back, and we are here with our very special guest for the evening. They are the creators of the movie Expecting. Please join me in welcoming Casey McLean and Michael Libbert. So,
Hey,
and
what's
Hello,
up?
hello.
there's Joy with his poetry snaps. So I mean,
Lovely.
so why don't you kind of give our listeners an idea of who you are?
Absolutely. So we're basically just two guys who we went to high school together, and then we went to university together, and then we didn't talk to each other for a little bit, and then we got back together and started talking and realized that we shared this mutual love of movies and entertainment, and then decided we would write one together. And then that turned into produce and direct one together. And yeah, basically that. Now we're done, and we're just in the process of putting the final touches on and ready to push it out into the world.
Fantastic. I appreciate all the puns there.
So you guys went to college and everything. What did you guys go to school for? Did you go for like audio, video, editing, or anything like that, or?
Casey, what did you take?
I took political science actually.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So
That's what I was gonna guess.
Yeah. No shit.
Yeah, I was seriously going to say poli-sci.
Yeah. This is what everybody took. That's why not?
Why would you assume he took political science?
I have no idea. I was going to jokingly guess it.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, the shades. It's all the shades. And then I did major in film, but not not production. It was more film theory and communication studies. So.
Okay. All right. So where did your I guess passion or motivation come from, like, to do movies? I mean, like, is this something that just like popped in your head one day, like, I want to create a movie? Is this from like, when you're younger, like you would run around? Like when I was younger, me and my friends used to make movies, and they're like little short, like 10, 15 minute, like, dorky, like horror movie. I mean, they were what we thought horror movies were, and really they kind of sucked.
Right.
I mean, yeah, they were brutal. We're like 15 years old making fake blood and like shit like that. It was horrible, using cap guns. I mean, I remember one time I played a hitman in one of our movies, and I literally made the pew pew noise with my mouth.
I forgot about that one.
I shit you not. It was a paintball gun, and I literally went pew pew. Goofy fucking movie. But I had. Yeah, but back then I had a passion for movies, and it just kind of like It just came out of nowhere. So where did your guys' passion for movies come from? When did it
Well,
begin?
it'd be the same thing, and I think that the kids get it right. They see movies and they get inspired by them, and they just go out there and do it. We were lucky enough to have a video cameras as kids, and that's what our generation did. We filmed each other doing stupid things, making movies, and we had the ability to be creative as well, like to. And so I guess that was ingrained in us, kind of growing up.
Yeah, I guess so. I used to actually, when my parents would go away, I would have like a cousin babysit me, and that was the thing my parents would leave for us to do. Just here's the video camera. It's Saturday night. We're going out. We'll be back at 11, 12. Film whatever you film. And we would do the same thing. We would make cheesy horror movies. And well, actually, what we would do is we were big. It was just around the time when the Goosebumps TV show was coming on.
Okay.
I don't know if any of you guys remember that, the Goosebumps. So we would like reenact Goosebump books and reenact me and my cousin.
That's amazing. What was your favorite Goosebumps?
You know what? I think it must have been either the. Oh man, there were so many good ones.
I know, right? The one that immediately comes to my mind is the one with the camera that when it takes a picture of people, they turn into skeletons.
Oh right, that's actually the first one that I had. The Say Cheese or Die.
Yeah, that's the name of it.
Cheese or Die.
That's the one that got me into it. Yeah. There was the one with the dad in the basement. He's a scientist.
Oh, the plant.
Stay out of the basement. Yes.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, that was the one that I remember the most. That was actually my favorite one, where he was doing some experiments with plants, and the plant actually morphed into him. Yeah.
Yeah, we would make that one. We would have. Remember the toy kits, the Dr. Dreadful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Science kits. So yeah, we would be like the scientist was down in the basement doing Dr. Dreadful. That was our version.
That's amazing.
Yeah. As you'll find out as we're talking, I'm a huge coward when it comes to movies.
Okay.
So, like, to be honest, like, I watched the teaser on YouTube that you had for the show. Like, it was like an 18-second teaser.
Right.
And I jumped from that. Like, I'm a bitch. I will not lie.
So do you use that to your advantage then? Do you enjoy getting scared? Like, will you go out of your way to watch a horror movie or to?
I'll watch. I have watched horror movies. I mean, like, I've watched like the Saw ones. Like, I kind of like gory horror movies. It's those like suspenseful ones that kind of get me, like Strangers. That kind of like it's those like it's the jumping out of nowhere, like, like bullshit ones. Not the Purge. What the hell is the oh shit, what's that one? There was literally like a bunch of them that happened like last few years.
Paranormal Activity is like 100% jump scares.
No, it's another one. I can't remember what it is. Like, it was huge, like, when they came out. Like, it was like the scariest like horror movies. Like, oh my god, it bugs me. I can't think of them.
I don't know.
I'll think about it as I go on. But like, I mean, I watched because I watched a little bit of your movie. I mean, it was a luxury for me. It was an honor, really, for me to see part of yours. There were a couple of scenes in it that like freaked me out too. But also, like, after the teaser thing, I watched because you guys did like an experiment on with like people on the street, like their reactions to it.
Right.
And I watched that too, and I would be just like all those people who were jumping back and everything.
Yeah, well.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, like, the thing about that was that we just wanted to take it out and see how people would react, and everyone kind of reacts a little bit differently. That was kind of the thing, was to just give people a little taste, just whet their appetites a little bit, and see how they would respond. And so far, everyone who we've talked to has responded as positive, more positive than we could have hoped for.
Yeah.
That's great.
Well, is there a way to kind of give us an idea? Well, the listeners more of an idea of what the movie's about without giving away too much of it.
Yeah, I guess so. So it's basically about this woman who's a writer, and she's headed up to the country because her uncle has committed suicide, and the only possession that he has to his name is this house that he lived in, which is this big house in the middle of nowhere. So she's headed back to with her husband, who is also her manager, to get rid of this house. Huh? And she's a week away from having a book deadline. And she's what, a couple of weeks, maybe a month away from being ready to give birth. And so the movie just takes place over the week as they're dealing with this house and meeting the locals, and things just kind of start to get weirder and creepier, and until it all comes together in the end. Huh?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So where did your passion, or why did you decide, like, out of all genres of movies, you decided to do the horror one?
I don't know. Well, you know what? The thing mostly is that because we felt that it was the one that we could afford to do ourselves, and doing a good job of it.
Mm-hmm. Like we pretty much looked at the resources we had, the location we had, and wrote the story around that. The optimal genre and story that we could do given the circumstances.
Yeah. So, like, the house, for example, and it's going back to what we were talking about with how we just started messing around with cameras and whatever. Like, the house that's in the movie is Casey's house. The house that he grew up in, and the town that they're in. That's the town that we went to high school in. So we just used what we knew we had. And we figured, the horror is the easiest to do if you don't have, like, a huge name, or you don't have, a lot of resources at your disposal. You just go out and kind of make use of what you have. Huh?
Absolutely, because what you're really trying to do with horror most of the time is draw out the scary parts of reality.
Right.
To some extent. I mean, that's what you're...
Absolutely.
Right. Absolutely. I
think there's an authenticity to good horror.
Well, sure, absolutely. It definitely has the ability to move you, emotionally. It doesn't always move you intellectually per se, and that's why it's hard for it to get respect, which it should be respected more than it actually is. Horror as a genre, and that's kind of one of the reasons why we liked it too. Is that we thought we can really make something that is going to have an impact on people and move people. A lot of the times when you're seeing things, the horror bits, those were filmed like under at the end of a 16-hour day out in the middle of nowhere, outside in the middle of summer with mosquitoes and all of that, and just hauling these lights around and all of that. It starts to get to you, as well. And you can see that as the movie goes along.
That's fantastic. Yeah, that's kind of like, I think the Blair Witch Project, that's kind of how they did it. They actually basically psychologically tortured their actors over the course of a week.
Right.
And then caught their mental breakdowns on film. So
yeah. I don't know how legal it is.
It's a legal gray area, I think.
Yeah, so that's right. It's a legal gray area.
Yeah, but on to all of that aside, we all worked very hard. We all worked very long hours, but we all got along. We all had a good time. It's making a movie. We're all living in a house together for a week. So we had a lot of laughs. We had a lot of good times as well.
Absolutely.
So what did you had said you watched a little bit of it?
Yeah, we got your what is it, the first 10 minutes?
Right.
They were...
I gotta say, I like that.
The little girl scared
Very
me.
enjoyable.
Shit, you not. I hope that didn't ruin anything, but yeah, I got scared.
Cool.
There was a.
Cool.
And I don't want to ruin anything, so I'm not gonna say it. But there was one line that the manager boyfriend said while
Right.
he was staying outside the car.
Yep.
Um, and I is stuff like that, like, is that common in the movie? Like, I don't know if you call it comic relief, but
Right.
like those like
Yeah.
those like little one. Is that something that you would use a lot in the movie?
Well, he's kind of a dick, but he's that line that's one that always gets people. Everyone who hears that line gets him, and they're like, "Oh, who is this guy?" And what's his deal? And yeah, stuff like that does come up.
It was just weird because you're going through the scene, you're watching and everything. All of a sudden, you hear something, and it's that moment where it's like, wait, what the fuck was that? And kind of go back, like, that's exactly what I heard. But yeah, I mean, it's so the first 10 minutes, was that 10 minutes of the movie, or was that the beginning? Like,
Yeah, that's the first 10 minutes of the movie. So the movie's about an hour long, and that's the first 10 minutes. Huh?
I liked it. It is one of the movies that I would watch, like in daylight with other people.
Right.
Because Travis don't do nighttime horror movies, but I'm definitely interested in seeing it. Is there obviously I don't know much about movies. I only know about what people talk to me about. Like, I mean, where do you feel like what's your projected release date for it?
It's definitely going to be at some point this year, hopefully before the summer. Like, we're basically focusing on, we're independent. We're making all of this ourselves, Casey and I. Point where we're going to start submitting it to festivals.
Nice.
Put into local theaters. Basically anyone who will play it, kind of thing. And I don't know if you guys know if you're fans of Troma or Lloyd Kaufman, who's in the movie.
Yeah, Lloyd Kaufman. I knew he looked really familiar. I was just like, I've seen him somewhere before.
Right.
So.
Yeah, so I mean, he showed up. He came in on the last day and helped us out, by being in the movie. So, hopefully we've submitted it to Troma Dance, their festival. So, they have a festival in New York where they do their thing. It's a totally free festival, so we submitted it to that. And yeah, so I mean, we're up in Toronto, we're up in Canada, so it's probably gonna play here first. But I mean, we'll just gonna start pinpointing festivals and theaters and take it around to anywhere we'll have it.
Fantastic.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, well, let me
a local scene there where you guys are in Illinois.
I'm honestly not sure. I mean, I'm usually up in Chicago,
Right.
so there's definitely stuff around, but I'm not super familiar with it, if I'm honest.
Okay.
Yeah, I live in like Bufu, so like, so almost like the town and stuff that like you guys were filming and everything. It's similar to the town that Colin and I grew up in. It's very small.
Okay. How big? What's the population?
Oh, geez,
3,000?
3,000? No, is it?
Yeah. Well, I know that they include the country people.
I'm not counting like Green Garden, World Center, and all that. They can fuck themselves. I mean, you could be right. Okay, yeah, Colin, you're right. It's about 4,000 people. See, it don't seem like that many. There's no way.
It doesn't really.
That's small. That's still a small. That's a pretty small town.
Yeah. Well, my dad lives in a town of like 250 people.
Okay.
That's small. See,
A hamlet.
Yeah, 4,000 just seems like a lot too. But that was also like 4 years ago. Was the last time the census was really done. I'm assuming people like moved. But
Right. Somehow it's 1,000.
It's dramatically dropped.
it's very small. And then like, well, it's weird too because when I was watching like thinking about the woods and all that stuff, I remember like being a child and like behind the house I grew up in, there was like this big there was this open space, this retention pond, and behind the retention pond there was like this woods that we used to play in all the time and shit like that. And it wasn't too bad, like it wasn't too scary being back there, obviously, because we're in the daylight, we're with friends and shit like that. But like I remember being back there like one night, it was like a little bit later, and like the images from the movie kind of like brought like flashes of like being over there that one night, and for some reason I was like, I'm surprised I wasn't more scared being out there. But seeing that kind of freaked me out more. And I don't know if I can go in those fucking woods again now.
Yeah. Do you think that you could go, let's say, into the woods anywhere? Drive out into the country in 20 minutes and get into your car and walk straight into the dark woods. Would you be able to do that? Do you think?
No.
Travis, no. Travis would never do that.
I'm the guy. I'm the guy that if I drive down a country road, my first thought is somebody's gonna walk out of the corn and stand in front of my vehicle, and I will not stop.
Dude,
Yeah.
it's true.
Oh, imagine
Should I-
children.
Oh, yeah,
Children coming from the corn.
Well, see, the thing is, and I ask people this. Let me ask you guys, since you're new and fresh into my life. Let's say you're driving down like a backwoods fucking gravel ass fucking road, okay, and then all of a sudden you see some woman fucking looks like she's like bloody and all this shit. You don't see a car anywhere. It's just her, and she's like on the side of the road. Oh no, I'm sorry. She's in front of you, waving her fucking hands. Are you stopping for that?
Ooh.
Oh. Well, you probably would have to, because I'm sure by that point she's cast some kind of evil spell on you. And you're, basically her food at that point.
Yeah. See, that's the shit that goes through my head when I'm driving down dark roads at night.
Yeah, but
That's all it is.
if you leave her though, you're just gonna find out in town the next day that she's been dead for 6 years anyway. So stopping wouldn't have made any difference.
Yeah, it's gonna be one of those things like where like if I'm sitting like in my living room and all of a sudden she's standing out my fucking window pointing at me because I didn't stop. Because that's the shit I think about. It's like eventually something's gonna pop out of nowhere at me while I'm driving down these country roads. I know it's gonna happen, and that's the shit that goes through my head. And I think that's why I keep psyching myself out for like these fucking movies, like the movie like Strangers.
Right.
I assume there's always people peeking in my windows at night. It's just how I mean, like
Where do you think I am right now?
I know, right?
Hello, Travis.
He's up on the ladder looking
He's
through the window.
just peeking in right now, just waving and shit. But well, what were your guys' favorite horror movies when you were younger?
Oh God.
Oh wow.
There's so many. The Shining for sure.
Yeah, The Shining
Shining
was
and Candyman,
mythological.
Ooh, Candyman. Good one.
Yeah, I used to, when I was really young, I used to watch the Halloween movies with my family. And my cousin and I used to act out Michael Myers. And we were probably 5 or 6 years old. And when I was in high school, I used to like lock myself in the basement and watch horror movies of that era. Event Horizon, I always think of Event Horizon, would just terrify me. But for some reason, I'd want to watch that movie and experience the fear.
That's awesome.
Just out of curiosity, how far do you live from Chicago? I mean, just out of curiosity.
Oh, 8 hours.
About 8 hours. Is that flying?
No, it's all right. 8-hour drive.
See, now I don't feel safe. Tell me that you're 6 years old, locking yourself in a basement, watching horror movies and shit, taking notes. It's like
taking notes, yeah.
That's cool.
Dude, there
No,
you go. And we had X many number of years later. How many years has it been now? And we have people locked in the basement making wine.
Yeah, hey, how about that? In that very same basement. In that very same basement.
There you go.
Yeah.
well, I guess people have two roads they can take. They can either make movies or they live it. So thank you guys for making the movie instead of living it. Like, oh, Jason can do that, so can I. It's like, fuck that.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
I actually, when I was younger, I actually did have a favorite horror movie. You know, even though I'm not a big fan of them, It was one of my favorite horror
Fantastic.
movies.
I didn't know that about you.
Yeah, well, I don't like to talk about it.
That movie kept me away from drains, all drains, for about 10 years.
Rightly so.
They all float down here.
Now you've tacked another 10 years on.
There you go.
Well, the new one's coming out too, so
I hope it doesn't ruin it. I really don't.
I feel like it's impossible not to ruin a classic like that.
oh yeah,
I know.
I agree.
What you gonna do? What about lately? What are your anything recently come out that's piqued your interest in horror?
Oh, God, I don't know. I think what was new and hot when we started talking about expecting was like It Follows and The Witch,
Nice.
and that kind of stuff. Huh?
Yeah, It Follows was okay.
Yeah, it was pretty good. It's pretty freaky.
Absolutely.
What was there any horror movies kind of like that kind of inspired like anything of this movie? Like were you like watching like a horror movie like, you know, that's something I think I can maybe use or something like that. Like not so much steal, but use as a guide to create yours.
Like Rosemary's
Yeah.
Baby or something?
Yeah, Rosemary's Baby for sure was the one that we kind of started talking about. I mean, that's, you know, pregnant woman carrying this thing around inside her.
Mm-hmm.
So that definitely played a part. And then like some of the other like maybe the more occult stuff like The Wicker Man.
Mm.
You know, kind of that has that mystery edge to it.
Yeah.
What else, Casey? You know, House of the Devil. I don't know if guys have seen that one. Was a smaller one.
House of the what? Sorry.
House of the Devil.
Hmm. Heard of it?
Yeah, I was watching The Shining again at the time as well. I know we mentioned it earlier, but
Nice.
I watched that a few times.
Yeah, for sure. And I always like the like I always go back to The Sixth Sense. I just love that movie, and you know, that was one of my things with this was that, you know, I like the idea of making a movie that is one thing the first time you see it, and then it changes when you see it again.
Mm-hmm.
But we also both enjoy like you know, a good John Carpenter horror movie.
Yeah,
You know, with a you know, entertaining. You know, it's still pure entertainment, and you know, a raging like soundtrack as well.
Absolutely.
yeah, that was one of the big things with It Follows was the music. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And
Just
Emily
slowly
Classic.
ratchet up the tension the entire film just by changing the soundtrack in the background.
Exactly.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, Emily Klassen did the soundtrack for Expecting, and she just did a phenomenal job. And it really wakens up the movie.
That's great. Yeah, and I love the music in it. Just in the little bit that we've been able to see so far, it instantly transports you to a sort of this place isn't right.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's something just a little off about everything. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
But you can't quite put your finger on it. Huh?
Right.
Yeah, she did a great job. And the other thing that, you know, we should underline is that a lot of the people that worked on this, like, we didn't pay people a lot. You know, we relied on the fact that we all believed that we were making you know, something special and something worthwhile.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, some people who worked on this, this was their first experience. And this was their first on-set experience making a movie. For Alex, the star of the movie, this was like her first big starring part. She's done some billboards and some TV, but this was her first big part. James, who plays the manager, he's been in a couple other little things, but this is kind of his first big thing too. And we all kind of put our best foot forward and did it with the little experience and the little resources that we had, and I don't think anyone should walk away from it feeling not proud.
Yeah, we had quite a few people actually taking time off work so it was costing them to help out. So
yeah, there you go.
Oh, that's amazing. That's when you're doing something right, I think.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
even
absolutely.
if nobody shows up to see it, that it was done well, because the people who were involved loved it.
Yeah, and we did it. We've been through the entire process, the making of the movie. We made the movie that we wanted to make.
Yeah, and that
We didn't
doesn't
have
always
to-
happen. That's great.
So-
I'm really glad to hear that.
So, even though like obviously like this movie hasn't released yet, do you guys have plans in the future for like your next one, or you kind of just like let's get through this one, see how this one goes, and worry about the future later?
I think, we started writing the next one before we wrote this one. and we actually went back to this one because, again, we had that conversation about the next one was just way too ambitious. Like, we're never going to be able to do this on our own. So let's make a horror movie instead. Right? So we do have the next one in the works. For sure, that we would love to do, as quickly as, you say as quickly as possible, but, we're not going to do it until we know we can do it properly, and that's why we made this movie, to prove that, we're actually capable of, we're not just two people who went out into the woods and slapped together a movie. Like, we actually are capable of making something that people might want to see.
Mm-hmm. From conception to completion, and it was in less than a year, less than 11 months actually.
Wow.
That's pretty awesome. Yeah, I you hear about people who are like create movies and they take years and stuff because they have to put things on hold for certain situations, whatever it may be, and everything. It's amazing that you guys got so much done in so little time. It's like I was saying, like with my friends, like when we would make movies, like we'd spend like almost like 2 days, creating this movie, and like, oh my god, let's put together, edit, and like finish it, see what it looks like. By the time you edit it, we had like a 10-minute fucking movie. It's like, what the hell have we done for the last 2 days?
Right.
We ended up with this. It's it seems like so much more, but obviously, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. So that's why I podcast. It's easy. I can sit here and talk. Well, before you guys go, real quick, do you wanna tell everyone like where they can find you, where they can find information on the movie and all that?
Yeah, sure. So, you can look us up on Facebook. We have an Expecting page, or we're on Twitter. The Twitter handle for the movie is what are you, as in the letter are you expecting? Yeah.
Nice.
You can look us up too. We're on there. I think. What are you, Casey? You're at Case McLean.
Yeah, Case McLean.
Yeah, and I'm at Machine Metal M.
Okay. And we're gonna put that all in the show notes too, so everyone can find it, so we can link it there and everything. So we started something new for this season. We're in our second season of podcasting. But do you know that? Because I know you guys are regular listeners of the show. Like,
Yeah.
for making it, for seeing it.
So I'm happy you guys were able to come on, spend time with us. And what we're trying to do this year is just do random something new, something different on our show. So for this season, we created something called Freakin Curious, and basically I just want to ask you guys 5 random, normal, out of the ordinary questions, and just get a regular response from it. It's just something fun. So the first question I got is let's see, we already talked about movies. First question, favorite go-to food.
Oh man.
Okay, peanut butter and toast.
Nice.
Damn. Favorite go-to food. Fuck, man. I don't know. Maybe it's you know what? It's either got to be pizza or burrito.
Ooh.
What if you took a pizza and you rolled it into a burrito? I'm just fucking no. I'm fat. I think of things like that.
I think you've got an idea there.
Right? I mean, just fill that fucking taco or that pizza with a bunch of burrito toppings. Just roll it up. Simple.
That's exactly what I'm gonna do once we're done recording this.
Huh? Favorite vacation spot.
Ooh, I'm gonna say the last vacation I took, which was Italy,
Ooh, nice. Whereabouts in Italy?
Bologna,
Excellent.
Bologna and Rome. Yeah, me and my girlfriend got engaged there.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, we actually it's such a crazy story, but long story short, we ended up getting engaged at Federico Fellini's grave.
Wow.
Yeah, so there you go.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Anyway,
that's
what's your
hard
favorite
to go up against that one. I'd say it's going to be Hanover and Walkerton, Ontario. The lovely small town. Welcome the tourism. Come on down.
Lovely vacation. Yeah, you know, they do have a nice river that goes through. You can set up a canoe, set up some tents. All right, kind of thing. Go on down to Washington. Sure.
Oh, nice. Favorite sports team. Any sport, it don't matter.
Ooh, I don't know. I guess I'm gonna need to go. I go to the most Raptors games here in Toronto, so I'll go with the Raptors.
Well, normally people pick good teams. But I mean, hey, whatever you want to do.
Dude, I gotta support the local teams, man. This is ours. You know, I gotta deal with them whether we like it or not. Huh?
Yeah,
support them and encourage them. Huh?
exactly right. The same with the Leafs. That's the same with the Leafs. You have to go with them. Toronto Maple Leafs.
We just keep hoping year after year that something's gonna happen.
I get it. I've been a Cubs fan all my life.
There you go.
It just baffles me how, like, when you look at some of these sport teams and how they got the names for it, like, how on earth did a Canadian basketball team end up being called a dinosaur name?
A Raptor is so much better than a Blue Jay, though. No.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, does Blue Jay have any reference in Canada whatsoever?
Not that I don't know.
They exist here.
See them around.
I don't think they're unique to the area. They're pretty sure they're all over the place.
Like at least Maple Leaf, like that's our symbol, right? That's our national symbol. But
yeah, and you can get maple syrup. So
from a maple tree, yeah.
Well, speaking of maple, that's actually gonna be my next question. So, I'm friends with a couple people who do a podcast called Fifth Cast, and they live in Canada.
Nice.
I think Ontario or the GA, whatever the hell the GA is, or CA, what the fuck it is. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we're friends. We're not close. I mean, Fear, if you're hearing this, I love you, but I can't remember what the hell it's called. But they live up in Canada.
Somewhere in
Canada. Somewhere. I don't know.
Big place.
I give them a lot of shit for the Canada thing, and I give them a lot of shit about maple leaf cookies.
Okay.
All right, so I guess my question is, do you guys enjoy maple leaf cookies as much as I assume all Canadians do?
Absolutely.
Mm.
I'm 100% down for this. Yeah.
You are. You're maybe you like them, huh?
I do. I even took a box of them when I went to go visit Troma over Christmas before the Christmas holiday, and one of the things that I took them was maple cookies, and they ate them all.
That's right. You did say that.
I can't remember what it was for. I think it was our Christmas special we did. I bought a box of maple leaf cookies, and these actually came from, I can't remember where they came from. I think they came from Vermont, actually, to be honest with you.
Okay.
But I'm pretty sure they're Canadian typed in some way. I saw some on the box. I ate like 3 of them out of the entire box. The box still sits here uneaten because I don't like them. And Fear's wife, MDI, who's also on the show, told me that she'll send me some legit maple cookies. I have yet to get those. So I don't want to call her a liar, but so far it's proven I'm right.
But you know what you might like? Which is specifically Canadian, is beaver tails.
Like an actual tail of a beaver?
Yeah, no, man. So it's like a fried piece of dough, and they sprinkle like cinnamon over top of it, or you can get Nutella or Reese's Pieces, and they sell them in Ottawa.
That sounds awesome.
You mean an elephant ear? Because that sounds like an elephant ear.
It looks like.
Maybe.
It looks like a little more elaborate than an elephant.
Yeah, a lot more dressed up.
Yeah.
Beaver tail?
Elephant. So what's this elephant ear?
It's basically the same thing, only without
fear-
the Nutella
fair
or
food.
Reese's Pieces. It's just fried dough and cinnamon sugar.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's a conspiracy behind this. I'll bet you. Somebody's behind all of the flattened dough and cinnamon.
Carnies.
You're giving it. They're customizing the names for the locations.
Oh yeah.
Elephants and beavers.
What I like is like I'm assuming at one point like the elephant ear sales like dipped down, and that's when funnel cakes started coming out, because it's literally the same damn thing.
Ooh,
This is like a funnel cake, though. This is like it's shaped like a beaver's tail. It's like a long plank.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me
Yeah, I'm looking at these.
I'm
Look fantastic.
See, in my
I
opinion,
gotta eat
an
one of
elephant
these.
ear is really small compared to what it should be.
Oh, I've never had one smaller than my head, so I'm not sure what you're talking about.
Well, I mean, an actual elephant's ear is
Oh, I see
probably
what
going
you're
to be
saying.
like 3 times the fucking size.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
That's a
Are you
blanket.
That's fair.
A blanket of food.
That's what I need.
Exactly.
I need a
that
food
actually
blanket.
looks pretty fucking good.
You can tuck yourself into dinner.
Yes. Want to open a restaurant?
I'm-
That'll be the tagline.
I'm actually upset that I have talked to Fear for almost a year now, and he's never once mentioned a beaver's tail.
Dude, where's he from? We got to figure out where this guy's from. Maybe he doesn't have them.
Oh
Maybe
my
he's
god!
so secluded that he's just never got to experience the joy.
It's possible. I mean, like, I'm assuming Canada, like, you guys are all connected. You should be sharing shit.
He lives in Airdrie, Alberta.
Oh yeah, okay. So that's 4 provinces away. Well, how's my geography there?
He's from Ontario.
Sounds good to
Oh,
me,
it's from-
but
yeah.
I don't know my
Four
Canadian
prop.
geography.
What the fuck? Is
They
a
don't have
province?
states, Travis.
What the fuck?
It's like a bigger state.
Yeah, well, I know, like, because I remember, like, and I'm a wrestling fan, so Lance Storm, Canadian wrestler, I remember he used to go out and announce himself being from Calgary, Alberta, Canada.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming Calgary is inside Alberta, which is inside Canada.
Yes. But it's to the west. It's on the west coast.
So it's kind of like if I was to say I live in Peotone, Illinois, United States.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You fucking people.
Although, but Calgary is a known like big city. It's a capital city.
Yeah, like Chicago.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
But it's far from us where
Oh
we
yeah,
are.
it's way
in-
far away. I'm
So
looking
it's
at a
kind
map
of like
right
if-
now. It's crazy.
Like for the same distance as where you are down to probably Mexico even, or halfway
I-
across.
You're right.
See, I assumed all like those popular Canadian cities and stuff were just all centralized next to each other. Because I assumed it's like 4 major ass cities next to each other, and then a bunch of trees, and then Alaska.
Yeah, igloos above the trees. Huh?
right?
Yeah.
And like there's a bunch of moose all over the place and guys in tight pants and red jackets eating syrup.
Yep. But now we're riding the moose, so it's things are changing.
You're riding the moose.
Yeah, yeah, we're getting
Oh, shit.
stepping into the future. We're on saddles. We're on to saddles now.
Awesome.
Delivering mail on horseback.
Oh god.
Sounds
There's a lot of nature between the big cities for sure. A lot of people who still live off the land.
A lot of people. Oh, Canada.
Oh, Canada.
Wait, I got one more question, right?
Sure. What even was the last one? Did we
Oh,
answer
about the maple cookies. Like how you guys felt.
Oh,
about it.
right.
I mean, do all Canadians like maple cookies, or was Fear just fucking with me? Because I mean, like seriously, when I told them like maple cookies suck before I even knew what maple cookie was, they fucking blew up on me. I'm just like, I mean, obviously they take this very seriously, so now I'm not gonna take it so serious anymore. And every time I get like, because a lot of times to do Facebook Live, I'll just go on there and I'll just type in maple leaf cookies, and they just get all pissed off and shit like that. But you know, I mean, I get it. I mean, I like cookies too. I think I made fun of Tommy Hortons.
Oh, Tim Hortons.
Tim Hortons. Yeah, I made fun of them once, and they freaked out about that. They started bitching about Starbucks at me. It's like I don't even go to Starbucks, but yeah,
Tim
apparently
Hortons is so much better than Starbucks. I will go to bat
No
for that.
way.
Oh, I hate Starbucks.
Did an American just say Tim Hortons is better than Starbucks?
I did.
Oh, we don't like Tim Hortons.
Oh, really?
Here. It's like popular choice.
Huh. Oh, that makes sense.
really. See, I don't like Starbucks because I'm not a 15-year-old with a cell phone, so
Right.
I don't go to Starbucks. I go to Dunkin' Donuts like an adult,
Right.
or
That's right.
or
Dunkin'
or to a
Donuts is good.
gas station because I'm poor. You know, it's.
The taters are at Dunkin' Donuts are where it's at in the morning.
Oh my god, they're amazing. Those are the best, and I call them hash browns, but yeah, taters. The best hash browns ever are from Dunkin' Donuts, by far.
I don't think I've ever had them.
You need to. You definitely need to.
Morning.
Okay.
Start your Monday off well.
Yeah. You should get
I-
2 orders.
I had McDonald's hash brown for dinner tonight. Now they've got all day McDonald's breakfast.
24/7, yeah.
So glad they did
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the day where the steak, egg, and cheese bagel comes on a 24-hour because that's my all-time favorite from McDonald's.
Oh, the steak, egg, and cheese bag.
Oh, it's so good.
But I heard somewhere that McDonald's is going to start delivering now too.
I've heard
I heard that
that
was
too.
rumored. I also heard I think Wendy's was gonna do that. Wendy's or Burger King was gonna do that too. Taco Bell too. They all say they're gonna do it. But isn't there like
I know that they talk about doing the electronic ordering.
Oh, fuck that. Hey, what's the big ass Canada stores you guys have up there? They're kind of like Costco's or Sam's Clubs down here. You can like buy almost everything at them.
Yeah,
Bulk
we have
item store.
What's it
Yeah,
called?
that's gone now. we had Zellers that was pretty big, and
That was Kmart.
Yeah, no, it wasn't Zellers. It's a different thing. Like I remember them talking about it because I made fun of that too. I just can't remember the name now. But like they said, like you could literally buy everything at this one store. Maybe they made it up. I don't know. I gotta think of one more question. See, I should write these down or like not make them up as I go.
they were pretty good for having made them up as you
Oh
went.
yeah, right. Oh, well, because,
Spontaneity.
see, my biggest problem is that I have a shit memory, so I don't remember that I'm doing this freaking curious thing to write before I say goodbye to people. And I'm like, oh no, I gotta do this. And we can't talk about movies before I talk about movies. Okay, how about this? Favorite non-horror movie.
Favorite non-horror.
Non-horror.
There's so many.
Oh yeah, that.
How about this? How about favorite non-horror actor? That work or is that too broad?
Non-horror actor.
Uh,
Maybe I'm drawing a blank. You know what? I always liked Nicolas Cage.
You always liked what?
Nicolas Cage.
I always liked Nicolas Cage. Yeah.
Oh, I love Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas
Always
Cage.
been a fan.
That's a good answer.
Yeah, I like that. That's the best answer. I'm not saying it's the only answer. I'm obviously, I'm not saying that that's the one and done. I mean, I want to hear both answers, but Nicolas Cage is a great one. I mean, you got to take away obviously Ghost Rider, but
Yeah.
the second one, the first one I liked. I like the first one. I hate the second one.
I might say Robin Williams then. The late Robin Williams.
Bravo.
R.I.P. Robin Williams. I like them too. What was your favorite Robin Williams movie?
Well, I have to go with Mrs. Doubtfire, for having grown up with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, dude. Favorite Nicolas Cage movie.
Favorite Nicolas Cage movie? Damn. You know what? I'll pick the one I grew up with, which was Con Air.
Oh, that's
hell yeah!
I love Con Air. Con Air is actually my second favorite Nicolas Cage movie. My all-time favorite Nicolas Cage movie is Raised in Arizona.
Oh yeah.
That was my favorite. I think the favorite. And it's weird too because my favorite Nicolas Cage movie is because my favorite John Goodman moment when he's like bursting through the mud.
Yeah.
Love that part. Oh god, guys, thank you so much for coming on and spending time with us.
Hey, thanks for having us. You guys were our
so
first podcast since finishing the movie, so you de-virginized us.
Oh,
Awesome.
It was an honor.
Well, that's what I aim for. I mean, I feel a little dirty now, but
I hope it was as good for you as it was for us.
It was fantastic.
Oh, it sure was fantastic.
Well, hey, keep in touch. When you do decide, when you figure out the release date and everything, let us know. We want to continue to help you out and plug the movie. So when it does come out, let us know so we could let everyone else know. And you know what? We love having people come back. So if you guys ever want to come back, just let us know.
Cool. Yeah, probably. Like even if sooner to once we have a release date, we could probably swing something with Lloyd too. It's just all based on his schedule.
Perfect.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I mean, like, see, we're like the new kid at the school that as soon as you talk to us, I mean, we're friends for life now.
Right.
So I mean, like,
Yeah.
we invite you to our house. Our mom makes you cookies and gives you Yoo-hoo, like every day after school to the point where you're like, my God, they won't leave me alone. And then we become possessive. So
No other.
We'll always take you. So.
yeah. So I mean, just give you a heads up. In a couple weeks from now, I'm gonna be like, hey, how you doing? If you don't answer, I'm gonna be like, what's wrong? Gotta do something. Shit like that.
All right.
I'm not saying I do it, but you'll see.
Okay.
I will respond. Any messages sent. So.
No, it's okay. When I was 5 years old, I locked myself in the basement and watched chick flicks.
There you go.
And now you're living it.
And now I'm living it. Oh god.
Full circle.
All right, let's promote one more podcast, and then we'll come back with Colin's segment.
What up, everybody? It's Razor.
This is Fear.
And MDI.
And we are Fifth Cast, the premier show of the FYFC Podcast Network.
We like to talk. Hell, we'll talk about anything.
World events and personal stories.
Technology and pop culture.
And once even, pterodactyl porn. Seriously, that's a thing. Google it.
New episodes are available every Friday on iTunes and Stitcher Radio. Also, subscribe to the video podcast on youtube.com/FYFC podcasts.
I'm not sure why you were yelling, but that was excellent.
Now fuck your face and back to the show.
We said normal voice.
I know, but I like that one.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, check out Fifth Cast, give them a listen, follow them on iTunes, do everything for them that you would do for us. I mean, that's all we could ask. Plus, I did kind of badmouth them a little bit there by, not intentionally, but, I may have said some things.
They like
it. They know. They know. They like it rough. They're dirty. Naughty. Anyways, enough about me and my things. Let's go to Colin and his things.
Me?
Of course you.
Yay! Okay, welcome back, all you people. We're back to this freaking state of mind. Our little segment of each show where we go through each state telling you some facts about that fucking state. Last week we ended on Louisiana, making us move right along to the great state of Maine. You know, that state that's up in the northeastern part of the United States. Let's get right into it and learn a little bit about it. First off, we have Maine. Eastport, Maine, is the most eastern city in the United States, and the city is considered the first place in the U.S. to receive the rays of the morning sun. So if you're one that I have to have the sun out, go to Eastport, and you're supposed to get the first rays of the morning sun. Wilton, Maine. There's a cannery that imports and cans only dandelion greens. Maine is the only state whose name has one syllable.
Huh.
Now this one, I thought about it, and technically it is correct in what it's saying. Maine only shares its border with one other state. And then I was like, well, what about Alaska and Hawaii? Well, not Hawaii, but Alaska. But then again, that doesn't really share a border with the state.
Nope.
It shares it with a province. What we learned about today with our guests.
Oh, Canada.
Bath, Maine is known as the city of ships. The White Mountain National Forest covers nearly 800,000 acres. The forest covers a landscape ranging from the hardwood forest to the largest alpine area east of the Rockies. Aroostook County, at 6,453 square miles, covers an area greater than the combined size of Connecticut and Rhode Island.
Wow.
Wow, yeah, that's one county. Jeez. Approximately 40 million pounds, nearly 90% of the nation's lobster supply is caught off the coast of Maine.
That makes sense.
Yeah, Maine lobster.
Mm-hmm.
But that just, wow, man. Is that like a giant just area for lobster?
I think so.
Like a breeding ground? Who knows? Maine produces 99% of all blueberries in the country, making it the single largest producer of blueberries in the U.S. I didn't think blueberries came from Maine, but
I didn't either.
The more you know.
Ba, 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 ba.
Because knowledge is power.
Who knew that Maine was a state known for its tiny blue balls?
West Quoddy Head is the most easterly point in the U.S. Mount Katahdin is the state's highest point, and at 5,268 feet above sea level. Awesome. Togus was the first veterans hospital in the U.S. The facility was founded in 1866. %90 of the country's toothpick supply is produced in Maine.
Wow.
Portland, Maine, is the birthplace of poet Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. The great author, as Joey knows, Stephen King, is a resident of Bangor, Maine.
My guy.
Mm-hmm. Former President George Bush has a summer home in Kennebunkport. Kennebunkport? That's a weird name.
It's a weird state.
Freeport is home of the LL Bean Company. I actually ordered from them.
Nice.
I don't think we have many out this way. I think there's one up north, but not sure.
I think you're right.
There is a skating scene in the movie The Preacher's Wife. And that was filmed in Deering Oaks Park in Portland, Maine. Maine's nickname is the Pine Tree State, which comes from the pines that once dotted the state's forests. With a total area of 33,215 square miles, the state covers nearly as many square miles as the other 5 New England states combined.
Wow.
The coastline of Maine boasts so many deep harbors, it is thought that all the navies in the world could anchor in them.
Damn.
Maine lobsters have won international fame for their flavor and contribution to the culinary world. There is the Sailors Memorial Museum in Islesboro, which features displays depicting life at sea.
Wow.
Yeah. And there's the crackling wrapper. Located in Thorndike Village.
That was Cooper, my bad.
Oh, okay. I thought it was those maple cookies you were going for.
No, it was a package. Well, I got that new desk, so it was some packaging. He kind of just walked over.
I gotcha. Located in Thorndike Village, the Brant Stove Works and Museum displays an eclectic collection of antique cast iron stoves, parlor heaters, roadsters, and touring cars. In addition, the museum features antique layer pianos, pipe organs, music box, calliopes, Nickelodeons, and hurdy-gurdies.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, I saw Nickelodeon there, and I was just like, what the fuck's a Nickelodeon? And it is a jukebox, essentially.
Yeah, basically.
Yep.
Cool things. They sound awesome. I highly recommend YouTubing them.
We'll have to do that. As I mentioned before, Henry Wadsworth Longfellow was born there. He was considered the most influential poet of his day. And his most popular works includes The Courtship of Miles Standish, Evangeline, I think. Yeah, Evangeline. And Hiawatha. The nation's first sawmill was established near York, Maine in 1623. York became the nation's first incorporated city in 1642. The first ship built by English colonists in the Americas was launched in the Kennebec River in 1607. The first naval battle of the Revolutionary War was fought off the Machias in 1775. Maine was the 23rd state admitted to the Union on March 15th of 1820. Maine contains 542,623 or 29 acres of state and national parks. Wow. That's a lot. And our last fact for this evening, before I send you off packing, is Eastport, Maine, is the only United States-owned principality that has been under rule by a foreign government. It was held from 1814 to 1818 by British troops under King George following the conclusion of the War of 1812. So interesting. But it was really much 2 years before it was a state. It was held under British rule.
Fascinating.
So thank you, everyone who joined me this week in learning a little bit about Maine. Come back next week, and we'll go on to our next state. Travis, back to you.
Well, thank you, Colin. How about you, Joe? Let's go to you for a moment. Why don't you tell everyone what you're freaking on this week?
I am freaking on Samurai Jack, which is finally back from the past.
I saw. Came out yesterday.
Yep. The first episode of the new season. And I think it's going to be the final season. And they're planning to have 10 episodes. And it was, oh my gosh, from the second it started to the second it ended, it was everything I wanted it to be. Like, I don't know. I hope that they keep this up for the entire 10 episode run, but I don't have high hopes for that. I just, it was so great. It's so rare that something that's been on hiatus for so long can come back and basically pick up exactly where it left off. It was amazing. I loved every second of it. If you were ever a Samurai Jack fan, I highly recommend jumping in and following the new series. I think the next time it plays on Adult Swim is Wednesday at 11 p.m. Eastern time, so 10 Central.
Okay.
Or check your local TV guide, whatever. I don't know. Not your mom. Well, I guess you could probably watch it on the app too. I don't know. We're in the future now. Sometimes I forget.
Yeah.
I've never seen it.
Oh man, you're missing out.
I mean, am I though? I mean, think about me.
No, you're actually probably fine. You're right. No, it is a good show though, and I think it would enrich your life.
Again, think about me.
I am.
You think I would get into that?
I don't know if you'd get into it.
But you think it would enrich my life?
Yeah. Like a hobby.
I never cared for it,
but
we'll see.
So what are you freaking on instead of Samurai Jack? Travis T.
Gotham.
Ooh.
I started watching it, and I'm hooked.
Fantastic.
I'm so confused about a couple of things. I guess one of the biggest things I'm trying to figure out. So, the show Gotham itself centralizes around Jim Gordon himself and not Batman, which is awesome. But is this supposed to be like a prequel to what Batman is to become, or is this an alternate universe thing?
Possibly both.
Because in my opinion, I think it's an alternate universe.
Well, because and I could be wrong because I didn't look up. I looked up a lot of these people. I did not look up Jerome or the Joker, whoever he's supposed to play. So the guy from Shameless who plays Jerome, it's supposed to be the Joker, right?
They say that he's pretty much taking the part of that. But yeah, as you'll find out, yeah.
Okay. Well, it was just baffling. Like, and I don't mean to spoil it for anyone who hasn't watched it yet, but fuck it. I mean, he fucking died. So if he was supposed to play the Joker and he's dead, but at the same time, again, I, things have been different than what I thought they were anyway. So who knows? But I'm really enjoying it. I'm actually probably gonna throw a couple more episodes into this evening when I finish up here, just to get a little more in there. I'm just a little worried because there's only 2 seasons on Netflix, and I'm halfway through the second one, so I don't know where my world's gonna be after that.
You have plenty of time to watch Samurai Jack.
Yeah, we'll see.
I mean, I was so bummed. I finished it off, and I was just like, "Oh, balls! It's so good."
Balls
So I
are so
think
good.
September timeframe they're gonna release season 3 onto it.
Oh, okay. Well, I gotcha. What about you, Colin? What you freaking on this week?
I'm freaking on that. I've actually officially started moving my stuff.
Yeah.
To the new place, a new apartment. So, actually, sadly, after this week, I should be coming to you live from a new location.
Nice.
Yep. Awkward manner.
Yes.
We'll call it that. We'll call it awkward manner until Colin comes up with a better name.
I kind of like awkward manner.
There we go. See, I'm a visionary. Yeah, it's a lot of changes. Colin's leaving me. I got an early birthday gift in this awesome new desk, which I'm really excited about. Yeah, it's an L shape with a hutch.
Nice.
And I'm really excited to be using this. I'm gonna get a new chair to go with it. Maybe some nice mahogany. I don't know yet. There's a USB port in it. There's a part. I fucking just plugged USBs into it. So I'm really excited for that
That's so
too.
nice.
Yeah. So my mom really went out this time for my birthday. And I'm okay being a mama's boy. I'm happy with that because this is a nice fucking desk. It almost feels executive like.
That's awesome.
So, yep. So I'm gonna put that all together. I'm not gonna do it tonight because obviously, I'll be making noise and I don't want to keep Colin up. So I do it tomorrow when I wake up.
I'll be up till about midnight. So
Colin will be up till about midnight. I still don't want to do it. I was trying to hide my laziness, but whatever. I don't want to do it. Yeah, I think I'll put together the hutch for it, but I'll do that later. But hey, Joe.
Yes.
Every week, our listeners can catch Geek Cast Joe here on this freaking show. But if one episode a week isn't enough for our listeners to get their fill of Geek Cast Joe, what can we do to solve their problem?
Well, if you've got a problem and the solution is more Geekcast Joe, you should listen to the Geekcast Live podcast at gcl.ninja. You can also find us on Facebook, iTunes, SoundCloud, and YouTube by searching Geekcast Live every Saturday morning.
Nice. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, you can find this freaking show on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter. We have a website, thisfreakinshow.com. There's stuff on it, like a list of all our guests, all our amazing guests, like the one we had on this evening. It also gives you an idea of where we're gonna be and everything. Something we haven't updated on there yet is the actual events and everything. I'm not sure if it's set in stone. Are we still gonna do C2E2 this year, Joey? I know you'll still be in Connecticut, but Colin, are we still doing C2E2 this year?
possibly.
Okay, so we may be at C2E2. We'll see if we can finalize that. If not, it is what it is. But that's hopefully our plan. I know I told Super Casey that hey, even though we can't get together this week to talk, at least we'll see it at C2E2. So I know she's really excited about that. I just know. But anyways, yeah, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter just by searching This Freaking Show. You can find our show on iTunes. And if you go to iTunes and you listen to us, use you give us a rating, give us a review. That's what I wanted to talk about. Fuck it, we'll talk about it next week. Also, keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, like I mentioned before, there's going to be a secondary podcast coming up soon. It's called Just Freakin' Wrestling. It's an all-wrestling podcast. This will be in the bugs worked out of it. It's coming out in April 2017. I'll get information for that later. As always, I am Travesty.
I'm Awkward Cow.
And I'm Geek Cast Joe.
Thank you for listening to another episode of this freaking show. I'm out.